welcome back, everyone. We are going to, rather than kind of keep going through the cycle of play and just kind of start a new cycle rolling and not get to finish it, we were talking on the break and we're thinking of just doing like a little epilogue kind of bit, go around the table and just have each person get to kind of frame something they want to see, and we'll play that out just as a kind of send-off, since this will be our last episode, as a way to wrap up all the threads and give the characters some closure. Does anyone have a clear idea of what they want to do on the jump, or... One thing that also came up in our discussions on the break that I really liked was the idea that, you know, this big sad revelation had happened for Raza. Everyone pieces out from the dream, comes back to the real world, and Spec just has to carry that on his own because no one knows that he is Raza Slate. It's a secret.
Yeah.
And so he just kind of has to carry his feelings and figure out what to do with them. That struck me as being very sad.
Yeah. Well, something that that is interesting to me related to that is that one of my promises is that I will tell Laurel my true feelings if she asks me. So I wonder if we all go back and I'm just very sulky at work, right? I'm supposed to be making all of this content and being this person who people want to be and living a life that people want to have. But I'm so obviously not having that experience. Maybe I get like put on probation or something like that I'm sent home. I don't take time off, but my boss is like, whatever the fuck is going on, you need to figure your shit out, come back here with a smile on your face, so that you can share your joy with the people.
You get an email from Fran, right, being like, I saw how terrible you looked sitting at your desk, and you're just like, what the fuck? Because we never actually see Fran in person, and yeah, she just tells you to like go home and figure your shit out.
Yeah.
Great. I love it when I'm in a supportive workplace where I can really be a human being. It's great.
Yeah. So, Morgan, what do you think, like,
I think
what is Laurel's response to this?
Laurel hears about this and they're like, Ross's upset. Wait, is Rossa your...
Ross is my dream name, so I'm
okay.
Spec.
So Spec is okay. I always get confused. I'm like, which one's which? So many names. So yeah, I think whenever she hears Spec is got sent home because he's not feeling well, quote unquote. Laura's like, oh no, my Fran. So she's gonna go over there with like, she doesn't even know what's wrong. She's just like, I got flowers and soup and some medicine and like one of those like reheatable rice packs or whatever.
The full array of problem-solving
tools.
Little
basket just of goodies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think she knows where you live because like they're friends, right? Like so they've had movie nights at all their houses. So yeah, I think she's just gonna go and just knock on the door or doorbell or whatever you have.
I think I have a doorman.
Oh, that's
right.
I
think you have to speak to someone to get into my place. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be like, hi, Frank. Can you let me in, please?
Right. He's like, Spec doesn't want to see anyone right now.
Oh. Okay. Can you... Hold on. And so... Laurel hands him the basket to hold real quick while she pulls out a piece of paper and writes something down. And she just folds up the note and sticks it in the basket. She's like, can you deliver that to him, please, at least?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
And I think Frank like goes in and delivers it right away, and then if you're still there, Spec sends Frank back out and says like, you can come in.
Okay, cool. And the note says, "Hey, hope you're feeling better. Sorry that you aren't doing so good." And it has a little sad face on it. But if yeah, so she's like okay, and she'll make her way up.
Yeah. Yeah, and Ressa like opens the door and he's wearing like sweatpants, which is not a thing that he normally does.
He even owns them. What is this like?
He might have sent Frank out to buy some for him for this occasion. He's like, Frank, I'm sad. What do people do? Frank's like, sweatpants? Okay. Yeah, and he's like not really shaven, doesn't look, I guess his shit is just very obviously not together. Um, but he lets you in and he's like, hey, hey Laurel,
Hey, I
how
heard.
how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing okay, but really, how are you doing? Because I heard you weren't feeling well, so
Who told you I wasn't feeling well?
office. They said you got sent home because you weren't feeling well.
Yeah, I mean, Fran thinks that I'm not doing well, but Fran doesn't know me. Nobody there knows me. What, like, whatever.
No, what's going on? Like, if you don't want me prying, like I'm here. I'm here to listen. I don't think. And she gestures to the basket. I brought the right things for this. I should have brought, I don't know, like ice cream, some cookies. Nope, I got soup though. You want me to warm up some soup for you?
Soup sounds, yeah, soup sounds kind of nice.
Okay, all right. So she'll go off into the kitchen and just make her own and like start like whipping up some soup.
Yeah, I think Spec is Spec is trying to come to terms with the fact that he does not want to say what's going on, but also he has a little bit of like, well, fuck it, like I don't, like maybe this doesn't matter and secret identity or whatever, but also at the same time, he's seen Laurel in a new light, and this is no longer just like a harmless person to tell things to. That like if I tell this person my secrets and my feelings, it's not, it doesn't matter. Um, I'm trying to like deal with those feelings during this like uh this period of depression, because also like part of the effect of Rip putting its feelings into me is that I'm like left with this depression. um so it's like a deepness,
Mm-hmm.
um which makes it hard to like recall the light that Laurel is. Both Laurel, the person that Spec has always known, is like a bright light, but this like transcendent light, which has made him register Laurel as more than a sidekick, um, is all going on at the same time.
So I assume it's very quiet between them while she's cooking.
Yeah, I think he's just like sitting on the couch staring at the TV that's not even on while you're in the kitchen making soup. Yeah.
Ooh, well, that is deep. Laura's not gonna push it. She understands the feelings. I mean, she doesn't know what's going on, or but she knows that you're being quiet for a reason, and obviously that's a deep reason. So she's not gonna push it for the time being, but she's gonna make them soup and make a little bowl and just bring it over to you and place it on the table with a spoon. Uh, don't know what types of soups we have, so like in this world, I want to say it's like a little like a cup ramen, but I made it fancy.
Great.
So like I added extra veggies and like added a protein to it and put some cheese on it.
It absolutely looks like Miyazaki ramen.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Spec eats it, and like even in the fog that he's in, um, experiences like a real and deep appreciation both for the act of care and um, and for the food itself in a way that he hasn't really so much lately. Um, maybe he tears up a little bit, like it's still quiet between the two of you.
Yeah, I think once she drops it off, she goes back into the kitchen to clean and to like leave him with the soup because she can feel that there's something off like that emotionally. So she's like, I'm not gonna push anything right now. I'm just gonna let you have your soup and I'll just go up and just clean up my mess in your kitchen. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I think probably most of the visit proceeds that way. But before Laurel like leaves, um, Spec says to her, like, I think, whatever it is that you are trying to do, I think you're going to be successful. I think that I don't, you're my hero, and I think that you're going to do great.
oh, I don't know what you're referring to, but thank you. And I hope whatever you're going through, I'm here to listen. I'm always here to listen, and I don't want to, I don't want to pry because I know it seems like you are going through a lot, and I don't want to pry, but like, I am here. And she like takes his hands and like holds them and like looks him in the eyes. And can I do a gather information here? Yeah. What am I rolling? Is it a empathize? Okay. Yeah. Controlled because it's I got a 3. Yeah. Yeah, it's a 3, so it's not I probably don't get anything.
Oh, apparently, Andrew, you're muted for the stream.
Oh no.
Oops. Haha.
We can hear you. I don't know. Aww.
Yeah, sorry. I had to mute myself in 2 different places.
OBS.
There's been lots of traffic sound.
Ah.
Case in point. And I was just trying to spare everyone hearing that, but then they couldn't hear me.
You mean
all I was saying
my
is just
honking palooza that I had earlier?
Yeah, I don't know. It's wild out there. Just to say, like, with this role, yeah, it's like totally up to Jory to kind of interpret the results. So
a 3 on gather information means that Morgan gets to ask like one question, right?
Yeah,
or is
usually,
that not how these work?
Usually that's how we would do it, is just, yeah, like one question.
Yeah, so go for it.
All right. Well, technically, I can ask 2 because I have heartfelt.
There you go.
So I will first off ask my one question is what are your unmet needs?
Oof.
Spec thinks that his unmet need is just being loved and appreciated by Plana, but Spec's true unmet need is having like self-esteem and loving himself.
Valid. And with heartfelt, I always get to ask, what is your character really feeling?
I think Speck is really feeling very hopeless. Because I think Speck doesn't have a great degree of self-awareness because his sense of self has been so warped by the work that he does. And so he's so caught up in the feelings about Plana and doesn't see a way to fix that he's like, I'm fucking like, there's nothing I can do that will make anything better. So, but the other feeling that he has is that he thinks that you are capable of making a real difference.
Oh, okay. So she looks at him, stares him in the eyes, and just goes in to give him just like the warmest and longest of hugs.
I think that he does like melt into that and reciprocate that one.
Right. And she holds it for like a minute before she lets go. Holds his hands, looks in the eyes, gives his hands a little squeeze, soft smile, and then says bye and leaves.
Great. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Well, that was lovely. Does anyone else have a...
My heart.
Anyone else want to do a little epilogue type scene like that?
I think Soul, in wake of this dreamscape defeat, and not fully understanding like the gravity of what happened with Rip, would be spending a lot of time in the real world, like impressing upon people like Nan and June to be like, I see the thing that you are doing, and you do not realize how it affects the space in not the way that you think it does, and probably becomes even more conspiracy theorist attitude.
Right, you're just like everyone is watching all the time, and
yeah. I don't know what kind of epilogue scene I would like to have just yet, but a lot of the immediate repercussions is me like bouncing around and trying to talk to everyone.
Does Soul
without being detected?
Yeah, does Soul cover for people? Like for Faye and June, do you like, because you're given their files, do you just like lie on your reports about what they're up to? And
they're weekly assignments, so I will kind of push the papers, so to speak, and until I have frank conversations. And it really kind of depends on what side of the line they treat me in. The aspect of like, oh, they don't take me seriously, then there's not much I can do. Like, this is the only thing I can do to affect the reality, so I have to report them, but it's not something that Soul wants to do. Oh, don't make me report you, Nan.
I think if we were like, if this game were to keep running, I think there would be a very real tension around this clock that we started about getting Faye cyber secure, and the fact that she is not yet. It would just like keep being a problem until that was tied up.
Oh yeah. I feel like the whole consequence, like the scene that we just had with Faye's dreams, I don't think Faye fully grasps that wasn't just a game and that wasn't just a dream.
Yeah, like the way that the things that are happening in there could affect the real world probably has not been connected for her.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, if she were to like buy in as well, then it would just be like, oh, well, and then also the real world doesn't matter. So like, it's fine if I get ostracized or whatever. I don't need any of that stuff. So.
Faye's full on ready to go, like, yeet me into my VR headset, Sword Art Online. And I'm like, please don't.
Yeah, that's like the bad outcome that she is ready to embrace. Totally.
Yeah. At some point, I think Soul would definitely reach out to Laurel and just want to geek out over this this magical moment that happened in the dreamscape. And kind of want to hear Laurel's perspective on what happened and what they want to do with that.
Okay.
if you would want to have
yeah,
that.
no, that's cool, because I actually was thinking about like how she reacts to her own transformation as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm thinking it's your turn to get visit bombed on.
Okay. I'm gonna say Nan's out of the house just because so it avoids that awkward.
Perf. Nan went to a gaming cafe.
She's like, I can't use my IP anymore. I gotta go somewhere.
Yeah, I think maybe Faye like avoids Laurel for a while.
Yeah.
After that, and like, yeah, things are weird. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
So Soul knows from previous movie times that I should bring tissues no matter what, and perhaps brownies. And that's all I bring. I'm like, hey, wanna chill?
Want to eat brownies and cry?
Yeah.
Oh, we're having a movie night? I didn't know that.
I mean, a movie can be put on if you want to have an impromptu movie night, but I mean, sometimes we can hang out.
Yeah, let's just hang out then. We don't need a movie. These brownies look amazing, though.
Yes. Probably just start with half.
What? What kind of brownies are these?
So
Cindy eats a full one.
Perfect. Perfect. So, how's work been, Laurel?
It's oh gosh, it's just getting back into the flow after everything is just so jarring.
By everything you mean.
Yes, I mean the dream, and she looks around. She's like, "Why am I looking around when I'm at home?" I'm like, yes, the dreams.
Okay, but like magical. Did you know you could do that?
No, I didn't know I could do that. If I knew how to do that, I'd do that sooner. That was very new. But also felt really like I was supposed to. It felt good.
I obviously don't know what it felt like for you, but being able to see you in that space, in that way, I mean, obviously you were literally glowing, but I don't think I've felt that sort of pure happiness just existing. I can't stop thinking about that's a feeling that one can experience, and you did that.
I mean,
even amidst all that danger, you did that.
I wanted to make sure y'all were okay. Y'all were stuck in the middle of that whatever it was, and I felt like I couldn't do anything, so I just did what I could and just wanted to at least be there with y'all and dived in. So I didn't know this would happen, or that would happen rather, but it felt right.
I've gotten complacent over the years. I was confident that I saw and could see the possibilities of the future, the consequences of the past. Time felt irrelevant to me, and I've never pictured you in this space. And it's like I have to learn how to breathe again. I have to learn how to believe that change is possible.
I mean, shouldn't it be? I mean, I think change is always on the table. We can't predict the future. We can't see where we're going.
When you've experienced the outcomes as many times as I have, sometimes you start to lose hope. But you've given me hope again.
Oh, I'm just keeping you on your toes. And she like lightly like pushes you on the shoulder, just starts cracking up, and goes for another brownie.
You're so sweet, and like, if you look just a little carefully, you can see like a giant anime tear welling up in Soul's face, like just sucking it back in, like, no, we must keep this one happy. It's the power of this timeline.
The power of friendship's the power of this timeline.
Yeah, I mean, you can do so much good, and it's clear that you will. Have you checked in with? Have you gone back to the dreamscape? Have you met up with Rasa or anything?
No, not yet. After all that, I needed a break. I think I still need to process what happened. And I don't want to say what happened to me because it sounds like it's a negative, but like, I don't mean it as a negative. You know, I'm just still trying to figure out, hey, I have a strange dream form now that apparently glows like the sun, and I could do things that I didn't think I could do, like shoot laser beams from my hands. Like, what?
your radiance embodied.
Oh, just like how does this even happen? Like what like? And she just like leans against the couch, is like, I don't understand.
The brownie kicks in, and you're just like, how? What is power?
What is this timeline?
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I think if we played this out anymore, it would just be more crusading of trying to get Laurel to make sure Nan performs and try and understand, like, the people around us don't understand, and we need to clearly do better at understanding ourselves. But the dream is bad, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Perpetually seeking validation.
I think you're also talking to like a now baked Laurel who's just like, yeah, totally bad. Like rainbows and sunflowers and shit. Oh, like.
I hope Laurel needed that. It's like decompression.
You know, you gotta loosen up your mind so that it can take in new ideas. It's very important.
Speaking of which, I want to go to my scene after this.
Sure.
Hell yes.
I think once Soul leaves, like, how late does Soul stay? Do they stay for a while, or do they head out, or?
I stay as long as it feels like you need me. I think I got what I needed from you, but I don't stay long enough that Nan comes back.
I think while they're talking, I think Laurel gets so high that she passes out.
Oh, okay. I know how this goes. If you're on the couch, I'll gently like fluff pillows and cover you in blankets.
Mm-hmm.
maybe
you, like-
put some water and snacks next to you on the coffee table.
Thank you. Good friend. Do you stay then, or do you head out then?
Oh, I'm gonna roll out as soon as I think you're tucked in.
Okay. And that probably rolls into my epilogue, is where I go back into the dream space, high as a kite.
Oh no.
Because I've been avoiding it. And now I'm just like, oh, my brain's open. And here we are. And I don't really know what... I think she tries to find... She's trying to seek answers. But... not exactly sure where to go. So I think she's going to go back to where... she knows there's some answers, and back into the middle of... try to find the sunflower field again.
Totally. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It'd be a great place for you to end up.
And she's just gonna start making, like, she finds a patch of daisies as well and starts making herself a daisy chain headband because she doesn't know what else to do with herself.
Yeah, and
So
you
she
just
makes
like
herself a
wander
flower crown.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe like this is where we start to see some of Laurel's like Oracle of the Dream stuff kick in.
Oh, it's right. I forgot about that.
And like, I mean, as soon as you're in the field, all the sunflowers point at you because you're like, you have a little bit of that radiance, like you are
Oh yeah.
functionally
Does that
a
mean, like,
sun
anytime
to
I go
them.
into the dream space now, like I'm like radiant incarnate?
I think
Or-
it's probably there's always like a little bit of it, and then you
like
can
a little
like
glow.
when you actually transcend is when it fully turns
I
on.
think of the
but
paintings of angels where they have that little like halo like around their head.
yeah,
Where's the
you've
dream
definitely
space? Yeah.
got some of that going on. And yeah, so like you put your daisy chain crown on and wander through this field, and yeah, all the flowers point at you, and we get like maybe like a shot from above of you walking through, and all the flowers like adjusting to like the rustling of them as they all rearrange themselves.
I just gently booped each and every one of them.
Yeah, and like somewhere someone dreaming like has a weird experience because you've like booped them.
I booped them around the nose.
Did Laurel recognize Plana in Rips because you've met Plana before?
Yeah,
forgot
they
about
met
that.
here in this field.
Yeah.
I think she did, but also at the same time she was so far away that she didn't hear the conversation.
Hmm.
So she doesn't know. She may have saw them, but like she doesn't like know exactly what went down. But Plana is one of the people who pretty much gave her some answers. And she's like, maybe I go to the sunflower field again. I could like run into that unicorn, and I could figure out what's going on.
Yeah, do you think Laurel finds any answers this time, or is it just...
Oh, probably not. I think she's just in the middle of sunflower field, just there. And eventually she just like lays down and starts like watching the clouds go by, and eventually that's where it ends.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a great image to wrap things up on, I think.
Yeah.
Sweet Laurel.
That was really lovely. Thank you all very much.
Yeah.
Aw. Thank you for letting us have this experience, because I love it.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's it. It's over. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Does anyone have anything to plug? Anyone got any commercials at the end of this episode? If not, then I will just say this is Girl by Moonlight. It's a role-playing game that I have made and am publishing at some point. Eventually, hopefully, it will happen.